What's up, peeps and popples and pepperoni pizza? We got Vigilante 8 Second Offense today, brought to you by the good folks at Luxo Flux. And I think it's the same people who made Star Wars Demolition. That's why this game feels so similar to me, because I remember being so disappointed in Star Wars Demolition. Now, this is one of my cursed games in my collection where I'm actually playing on a burnt version of this, because here's the retail disc in the case, but yeah, it's just like TNN Motorsports Hardcore Heat. I can't find a copy that is not scratched up, so you know, I don't know, it's pretty scuffed up, I guess. But pertaining to this game, it's not Twisted Metal 2. It feels like it's trying to be Twisted Metal 2, but it's like the game is kind of vapid. It's kind of just empty feeling, but not as bad as Demolition. I can tell you that right now. It just, like, Demolition's a total ghost town. This one has good looking stages, because I played this a little bit before, and there's like a bayou, like a, you know, good old water boy with the swamp action there. You know, it's kind of cool. Yeah, there's like, you know, I think like desert stages, and like one of the characters you can like float around and stuff, and that's really cool. Like a futuristic space ranger type guy looking like C-3PO in a C-3O mobile or something. There's like a little moon man you can play as. It's kind of cool. It looks interesting. It's a cool premise. I'm thinking that it might be just tons of fun with people. But I think as a solo experience, you kind of get tired of it eventually. I think it's probably good for a good 30 minutes. It's good for a good laugh. But the zany characters and the awesome stages is what kind of saves this game. And I'm not going to rate it too terribly high, but I think that Vigilante 8 Second Offense is one of the better arena fighting games. I mean, you got Demolition, Racer No Exit, and I would rate that higher than this. But Vigilante 8 Second Offense, there's worse games out there. It's just, there's better games as well. It's just, how does it stack up compared to other games? I don't know. I might not give you a full explanation on how this stacks up with other games, but we'll try. We'll try. And other than that, I'm going to put up a random picture for you guys right now, and I'm just thanking Greedo from Star Wars. I've been looking into like a bunch of Star Wars junk because of people talking about that new Star Wars movie. And yeah, we're going to talk about Vigilante 8 Second Offense, and you guys are awesome, and yeah. Alright, we're on the road looking like some 18-wheeler. We got a tumbleweed, you know, common cowboy trope. We got a scorpion. Good times. This is Vigilante 8 Second Offense. This is the third time I'm recording footage for this game, and there's good reason for that, because I'm kind of behind the times with putting up videos. So you're gonna have an old intro and a current gameplay foundation to this video. So I love how the past meets the future. I watched this movie Westworld yesterday, and it was a cool little classic movie. It wasn't like perfect or anything, but I enjoyed it. I think Westworld was based on a Michael Crichton book. Was the same guy who did Jurassic Park. I think those themes are like, you know, like a theme park gone bad, you know? Things not going as planned. I guess it's just a common plot device, right? I always thought this intro was ridiculous. Makes me think of Vanishing Point, actually. The intro for Vanishing Point was insane. Cars just falling off cliffs and stuff. I guess you get that a lot with Dreamcast games, don't you? I would assume they're an interracial couple. Not that there's anything wrong with that. And there's no clear answers. What happens to them in the semi-truck there? I guess they just crashed to their death. Never played the first one.
Digging that 1970s vibe music. Oh. Oh man, I just got kicked in the soul with funk. Oh. California, let's do it. Yeah, there was a bunch of different playthroughs, and I want to be this guy because this car can float. And I like that. And we're just going to use the default settings for the enemy cars. So there's going to be like 3 or 4 enemy cars. Who cares? If you're going to pick between this game and Star Wars Demolition, go for this one. But go for Twisted Metal 2 over all of this, if you can get your hands on it. That PlayStation 1 classic was such a disappointment. I swear you can float with this car, I just don't know what's up. Hey, this stage looks awesome. The right trigger is your weapon. I like how you can see your damage. This is so trying to be Twisted Metal 2. It's kind of insane, but hey, there's worse games out there. You just need to get into these games. Most of the games that I review are just games that I need to play more anyway. You can't go in the water. And I swear you're able to float. Like, you know, like clowns, like, because they float down there. I feel slightly less clownish today. I have clown consciousness still, but not as bad as I did yesterday for some reason. If I was to make a movie, it would be called The Clowning. Not The Clowning, but The Clowning for copyright issues, because, you know, nobody's going to have a copyright on that name. And then there's going to be people at the movie theater saying, I want to see The Clowning, but I'm going to pay the people who are at the ticket booths extra. So they correct them and say, it's The Clowning. We're going to have to charge you extra, and we're going to have to take away your electronic devices. And you'll be like, oh, man. Worst reviewed movie ever, The Clowning. Starring me. Alright, let's be cop.
I fancy these olden days.
Okay, you obtain fuel cans. I guess I'm just going to try to obtain everything. Just trying to get the... Oh, you're not supposed to... You're not supposed to blow up the cop car. When it comes to Demolition games, like there's Demolition Racer No Exit on the Dreamcast, which is really, really good. And I recommend that one over this one. For some reason, I like the demo disc for Demolition Racer more than the actual game, which is kind of insane. I have fond memories playing the demo disc. Some games are just like that. For some reason, I think that the finalized released product is different than the demo disc sometimes, and I think that was the case with Demolition Racer, but I think you could still tweak the controls and stuff, or tweak the menus and whatever for Demolition Racer and stuff. This game, with the personality and charm of it, makes me think of Wacky Races and just kind of like, you know, I don't know, Flintstones racing and stuff like that. I like the way this car looks, the little moon trekker. Plus, it's called Trekker, man. That little space man is, he's a trekker. Is this game a likable game? I don't know. And I don't know how this rates on the Dreamcast Junkyard Top 200 or whatever like that, you know. Who knows? I'm just showing you the game. This is impressions. If this is your favorite game ever, please don't get offended. But you can play a little moon rover and stuff like that. I ordered more reproduction games, but I went for some like cheaper quality ones. Like I got, there's a couple I was talking about. Viva Rock Vegas Flintstones game, the racing game, and there's this seller playing. He's selling them for, you know, in the PlayStation 1 Blu-ray cases. You know, and I guess they're cheaper, and they were like $6-7 before shipping. So I totally did it. And I figure, hey, it's a good way to get some repros, and I'd rather have something that looks like a finalized copy as opposed to just burning it, because, you know, I've burnt stuff before, but it's just, for some reason, I just don't play them when I burn them. But when I have a reproduction copy, like these shmups and stuff, and playing Fast Striker and stuff, it feels like a retail game to me. And I don't know what it is. I'm just a big artwork guy, and maybe you guys are the same way. I don't know. Do you guys play your burnt games? Because I'm not above playing burnt games. Like I'll play Super Puzzle Fighter, 2X. I'll play that like with friends if I'm going on a trip or something. If I happen to be on a trip like that, or if I'm lucky that way. Hey man, look at how that house did. I like the destruction in this game. I really do. This is my third time playing it, and this game does have a little bit of charm. It just feels empty, just not as empty as Star Wars Demolition. Star Wars Demolition is a horrible game. We've already covered that, but I don't know, just revisit that. I forgot. Some of these reviews I've done on my channel are so old. Like, I just don't know what I said, and I forgot what I reviewed. I'm to the point where I don't want to go back and, like, compare review scores, because my review scores really don't mean anything anyway. My channel's just a testament for, proving that these games exist, and I just want my channel to be a one-stop shop for, for everything Dreamcast, to the best of my ability, I think I already picked this guy, but I want to be him again because I'm digging cowboys. There's so many good cowboy movies just out there. Just revisiting so many of them. There's like Hostiles, and Dances with Wolves, and just so many good ones. Like there's The Quick and the Dead I saw recently, which is pretty good. Silverado, which was okay. Just been watching westerns here and there, not being a psycho about it, just kind of like finding myself watching more western stuff. It's kind of interesting how westerns are kind of like a genre I've always laughed about, saying, oh man, that's just for old men, that oh yeah, I'll probably watch that when I get tired of watching sci-fi, and then I do get tired of watching sci-fi or just some other genre or horror or whatever. I totally get burned out on horror a lot when I watch too much horror. It doesn't take much for me to get overwhelmed with that, but then I'm getting into westerns, and it's kind of a awesome genre. I recommend westerns, man. And there's so many good ones, and like Westworld is like a science fiction one. I don't recommend Cowboys and Aliens though, or Wild Wild West, because sometimes the science fiction / cowboy genre doesn't really work well. I love how this terrain is going up and down, kind of like a ski slope. I love the designs. I gotta give the designs for this game a good solid 10. I love it. I kind of prefer traditional racing games as opposed to these arena shooters, but when it comes to just arena demolition car games like this, you don't have as many as you do just like arena fighting games, kind of like heavy metal, Geomatrix, and Spawn in the Demon's Hand, and you got Quake and you got Unreal and stuff like that. But those are kind of like, yeah, those are arena shooters. Oh man, I'm doing it again. I love this. So cool. Yeah. So yeah, let's talk about this. I love the creativity of it, and like I said, it's way better than Star Wars Demolition. Whoa, what's happening here? Oh, this is awesome. I'm getting dragged by this. Dude, this game is awesome. Luxo Flux can make a game sometimes. I'm just holding down the A button for some reason. I'm not really telling you what the controls are about. But, yeah, I went skiing like maybe two times in my life, maybe 3 times in my life, and this stage really reminds me of when I was skiing those times, and I'm getting nostalgic feelings that way. That ski lift really brought me back. And the multiplayer aspect, you have to put that into account. So the levels are awesome, the creativity is awesome. I mean, this game really does look cool. It's better than Star Wars Demolition. I normally give stuff 8s. I don't really play this game. This is not a game that I really want to play much. But I gotta give this game the credit that it's due. Oh, that's why you can play as a spaceman, because you got this. This is the Space Launch Center, NASA. Oh, you get sucked into the turbine. That's so cool. This is a good little contender, I think, that, you know, when you're playing Twisted Metal, I mean, you got to have your competitors and stuff, and what can I tell you? And you got the computer is really tough. If you do one-on-one with a friend, this could be great. I remember playing Twisted Metal just vaguely. It's been so long since the PS1 days, like when that was hot, but yeah, man, I mean, I'm thinking about a solid 8, and I want to give it a little bit over. I think that I've been kind of giving like 8.7s or 8.2s and stuff. Yeah, I gave Fast Striker an 8.7. I'm going to give this an 8.2. It's just not a game that I'm going to play really on my own. I really value like solo game experiences, and that's not to say that I'm not going to play this. I mean, I'm playing it by my own right now, but I'm going to give this an 8.2 just because, you know, I like other solo games better. I don't really see myself playing this much, but yeah, it's awesome. 8.2. I think that's a pretty decent score for what this is. And like I said, the creativity and the cars and the, you know, the stages and just everything is just it's cool. It's a good Twisted Metal alternative on the Sega Dreamcast. You guys are the best. I don't want to keep you. Turkey dinner.